And this is what we in the business would call symmetrical enough. I hear that it sounds a little wacky, but it is my truth. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. That was super sweet of you. I'm so excited. We're doing a graphic liner tutorial today. Not only are we doing a graphic liner tutorial, we're doing a graphic liner tutorial for this shape, which I do believe to be the foundation for a million other graphic liner shapes. If you can master this particular graphic line in this placement, you can do so many other looks. I'll put a couple examples on the screen for you so you can see how you can build so many other looks off of just this one line, and I feel like this is the best way to get into graphic liner. We're gonna really break it down for you. I'm going to do sort of a connect the dots situation where I put dots to show exactly where we're gonna take the line. I promise I'm gonna go slow and I'm gonna walk you through it, and it's gonna feel easier than you think. So if that sounds like something that is interesting to you and you want to learn how to do this graphic liner shape, then I highly suggest you keep on watching because it's coming at you right now. All right, here are all my materials. I have my water activated liner, my number 4 graphic liner brush, and my water. Okay, now I'm gonna show you how I get the perfect consistency of water activated liner. It's a very scientific system. I'm exaggerating. It's just a couple of dips. Okay, so dip number 1 into the water. Now we're gonna swirl that around in our water activated liner. And see, that already looks good, but there's just not quite enough on the brush. Like, yes, the brush is coated, but when I go to actually swatch it on my hand, see how it starts to peter out at the end? That's because there's not quite enough on there. So what I do is I dip back into the water and then swirl it back in that water activated liner. Now we're getting a good consistency going here. See, I'll swatch that next to our first line to show you that it is much more even, much more opaque, and that's pretty much the formula. It's not all that scientific. It's just one dip into the water, one swirl into the water activated liner, one dip back in the water, and one more swirl back into the water activated liner. So okay, starting at the eyebrow, the very tip of your fluffy portion of the eyebrow, take it down about a 1/4 to a 1/2 of an inch. Half an inch just too much, actually. A 1/4 inch, I stand by that. And we're gonna do the teeniest, tiniest dot in the world. Just like that. You can barely see it, but I can see it. Kind of just looks like a freckle, but it's okay. Then for our next dot, we are gonna do it what I would call right after the front portion of the eyebrow, where my eyebrow personally starts to arch, about halfway to your brow bone. Right here, another tiny dot. Then our third dot is going to go at the brow bone. So look at where your eyebrow arches here. You can see that natural brow bone having the sun hit it where your brow bone highlight goes. And I'm gonna put a dot right there, probably about 1/3 of an inch of the way down. You know, we're increasing in the distance for our eyebrow as we arch. And then my next one is going to go right at the tail of the eyebrow, but bring that down probably like 1/4 of an inch. I'm talking way more in inches than I thought I ever would, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of where the placement goes. Of course, this will vary based on your eye shape. Not everybody has as much brow space as I do, but I only have my own eyes to demonstrate on you. So if you want to get more specific about your particular eye shape, you can always book a one-on-one with me, and I will literally walk you through a tutorial in real time tailored to your specific eye shape, and I can tell you exactly where to place it. But I still think this is a good guideline for where to put your dots and where to put your liner. So okay, our last dot is going to wing up a little bit. So go a little past the tail of your eyebrow and put that dot a little higher than the other one is. That way it can really wing out at the end. Now my favorite part, it's time to connect the dots. We're gonna do our double dip situation again. I rinsed the brush, dipped it once, dip it back in the water, and swirl it around for a second time. If you're a visual learner like me and need to like see what the consistency should look like, it's a little something like this. All right, now it's time to connect our dots. Starting at that first dot, gonna bring it up here, up towards the arch, back down here. I like to pause at this point because I always find it easier to start where the liner is going to flick out and then bring it back in. You don't have to pause there. I just find that more beneficial for me. And then after I create this basic shape, you might be looking at that thinking, well, that looks very different than that. That's okay. We're getting our basic structure down. What our next step will be to go back to our last dot, and we're gonna draw a line from here to here. So just like that, giving it more structure. I know I'm a broken record about this, but graphic liner is just such a practice game. The more you do this shape, the easier it'll be. The dots are just your guide. Eventually you won't even need the dots. Okay, so my next thing I'm gonna do to make this look a little more seamless is I'm pretty much gonna go over that line again. Now that I have a better guide and I'm just kind of thickening this line a little bit to make it look more even. That's the wonderful thing about graphic liners, specifically about the Glisten Cosmetics graphic liners, which are the ones I use majority of the time, is that you can layer them up a solid 2 to 3 times before they start to get a little cakey. Once you hit that 4th layer, you're pushing it a little bit. I would argue that after 3 layers, you should have enough pigment, and if you still need your line to be smoother, don't dip back into more product, just dip into your water and then go back over it. You'll be able to like move the pigment around and manipulate it without adding more and risking it getting cakey and flaky and just becoming a mess. So now I am just, you know, being a little nitpicky, trying to make my line look as smooth and even as possible. I don't know if you can see, I actually ended up going ever so slightly below my dot, so I'm gonna take a Q-tip and clean that up. Take a wet Q-tip. You don't have to wet it with your mouth. You can absolutely use water. That is what I do instinctually. And yeah, just use that Q-tip to clean up any of your mistakes. If there's any areas where you feel like the line is a little wonky, a little uneven, just go over it very lightly with your Q-tip. You don't want this thing to be absolutely soaked because then the water can potentially make this bleed and start dripping down. That's honestly why I like using my mouth with it. I know I could just dip this into my water right here, but if I just go like this, then it's the perfect amount of wetness. It's pretty much just damp. Please don't any scientists yell at me in the comments and tell me that this is not safe or this is germy and it's gonna get bacteria. I accept the consequences of my actions. Now that line is nice and cleaned up and definitely looks more like the line on this eye. Yay! All right, I have both eyes done, and this is what we in the business would call symmetrical enough. If I look super up close in my magnifying mirror, yeah, there's like ever so slight differences, but you know what? My eyes themselves aren't symmetrical. I have 2 different degrees of hooded eyes. I'm more hooded on this side than I am on this side, so my eye makeup is never completely symmetrical. You have to remind yourself of what things are gonna look like from far away. This is how the average person is going to see you and perceive you. I'd say that looks pretty symmetrical to me, and I feel great about it. And just like that, we have our finished graphic liner look. Now, as I said in the beginning, this graphic liner shape is such a fantastic foundation for so many other graphic liner looks. You could do a winged liner in the same color or a slightly different color to mirror that shape up there. That's why I love winging it out at the end, because when you add winged liner at the bottom, it just like solidifies that lift even more. You could also do a 2-tone color. When you start to feel confident about getting this shape down, you can take a thinner graphic liner brush and take another color right underneath, and it looks so cool with the duo tone. You can also do this graphic liner shape. Oh my gosh, I love this. Let me know if you want a tutorial specific on this shape. I actually did this look in a one-on-one tutorial session and I had so much fun. It was so cool to show her how to make it look like it's wrapped around. It looks way more complicated than it is. It's not that tough. But like I said, getting this shape down first is the best thing you can do if you are trying to get better at graphic liner. So keep practicing your dots, you know, working on getting your placement right. Like I said, eventually you won't need the dots anymore. Eventually you'll get to a place like the place that I'm in, where I've been doing graphic liner for 6 years now, and when I look at my, I know this is gonna sound a little funky, it's gonna sound a little wacky, you're gonna be like, is she being truthful? I promise I am. When I look at my eyes with no eye makeup on, I see a little invisible line where the graphic liner looks. I know, I hear how that sounds. I hear that it sounds a little wacky, but it is my truth. That's just the point you get to when you've done graphic liner as many times as I have. And like I said, practice is how you get to that point where you just see the line and you don't need to draw out the dots. But the dots are super helpful for when you are first learning. So I hope this tutorial was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Like I said, if you want to get more specific to your unique eye shape and you want to work with me on it, feel free to fill out the Google form in my little description down there. It's no commitment. You don't have to put in any payment info or anything. It's just an inquiry form for you to let me know the type of stuff you want to work on in a one-on-one session together. And then I'll reach out to you. We'll go back and forth. I'll answer your questions, and then we can decide if it's a good fit for you. But I thank you so much for watching. That was super sweet of you. And subscribe. And I forget what I say in the outro. I think I do a lot of peace signs. Yeah, peace and love. See you guys next week. Bye!